Yeah, good morning, or good evening, I could better say. What's happening, my friends? Welcome back to episode number 65. How are you guys doing today? Another day, another news event that we have to deal with. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to talk about gold. We are pulling back a little bit. We saw a major push up right now, like a couple minutes ago. So let's talk about that, and then we'll go from there. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic here. I'm looking forward to today's session, but also to this trading week. I think we will have a lot of things to discuss in order to get where we want to be here. Really looking forward to that. So let me see where we have it with us in the chat. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yo, what's happening? Good morning, Ivy. How are you? Good to see you. Brad, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? NamFX, the man. Thank you for your support. Always appreciate this. Roshan. Yassine, what's happening, man? Binyam. Yo, what's up? Rami. What's up? What's happening, man? How are you doing? Ferro says I lost $500,000 right now. Smith Benson, good to see you. Praveen, welcome back. Tatiana, good to see you. And Pradeep as well. All right. We got our crew, man. Looking forward to this. Guys, if you guys could help me out and help a brother out, man, and smash up that like button here. That will be highly appreciated. We're going to do our full breakdown. Yeah, we'll do our analysis and shit. Making sure we are ready to rock. Okay, if you guys have paid attention to the Telegram channel on a Friday, I was not streaming on a Friday. I was on a trip. But we took some really, really good trades, actually, on a Friday. It was actually a very good trade. So if you guys enjoyed the analysis in the Telegram group, the free analysis, of course, in the Telegram group, and I think all the Indians can join tomorrow too. Let me know what you guys think about these type of analysis and breakdowns as well here. Okay, right here we did our full futures as well, analysis and everything, and played out perfectly. Okay, perfectly. Super nice, actually. Super nice, super clean. A buy, then a sell. So clean, so clean. Yeah. Perfect. Hope you guys are enjoying this. This is the free Telegram group that you could join. You can click on the link in the description as well here in case I am in a trade outside of the stream or after the stream, right? When we talk about our setup and things like that, you know. And I have to stop streaming. Then you can stay in touch with you on the Telegram group pretty much, right? Make sure that you are fully ready to rock and roll or updated about my setup, my trade and things like that. Okay. All right, amazing. Let's move forward with some music, man. Looking forward to this week. We have a lot of things to cover. The dollar is in some higher time frame resistance at the moment. That's very interesting right now. And gold is shooting up. So what are we going to see? Are we going to see a higher low or are we going to see a lower high? Let's talk about this, all right? Let's see what we can do. Good morning, my friends. Sorry, this one. Yes. Did anyone set to increase the volume? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Music is too loud. Guys, what a pussies. What a pussies, man. Come on. Come on, man. What is going on, man? It's a new week. What are you talking about? Anyways, welcome back, my friends. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. Looking forward to this week, man. I'm really excited about the sessions right now because gold is at a very, very interesting level right now. We're also shooting up super, super aggressively. So I think we have a lot of things to cover, okay? And we have to make sure that everything is under control, okay? We shorted absolutely the shit out of gold right now in the last couple of days, but we are now at a level where we have to be a little bit more, I would say not careful, but like we are definitely having to pay a little more attention about pullback scenarios. So we're definitely going to make sure that we guys are fully updated in regards to where those levels are coming from. As you guys already saw during the A open pretty much today, we had a little consolidation, a manipulation to the downside, and a big push up, right? The dollar came down aggressively, okay? Now, this week will be an important week. Also, again, from like a news standpoint, it will not be as crazy as the FOMC, obviously, but we do have to deal with a couple of things. And that is the PMI, the PCE price index, and then actually the most important one, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to, is the GDP. Okay, this is not a preliminary release. This is the absolute outcome of Q1. So that's going to be an important layer because it's all related to the war, right? As well, GDP is incredibly important. The expectation is 1.6%, but it's about the outcome, the actual outcome itself, right? So the combination of the PCE price index and the GDP are going to be important on a Thursday. For the rest, not that much crazy news, okay? That we have to worry about like things like the FOMC or whatever the case may be here. That's the good part, okay? That is the good part. All right. Anyways, let's go over the markets here because, yes, on a Friday, we talked about a couple important levels that I think were really crucial, actually. Let me see if I can share this right now. That is actually, let me put off the sound real quick. That is actually a couple levels that we marked out right there, constant sell-offs. And we were looking at the daily open. Let me see here, the daily open of Friday, right? We had that supply demand zone here. We actually tapped into the demand zone. Price came back into that resistance at 85, okay? And then after that resistance at 85, we came down. But the key here is, even though we shorted it, right, we took a pretty good trade setup from that area, pretty clean textbook entry, right? Take profit taken as well. We never actually closed below the lows after that, okay? We never really closed below the lows. We never created what we call a lower low after that, okay? So we had the pullback, etc., which was great. We tapped into a major area of resistance, okay? But we never really closed below those lows here. So we could easily pull back and find support. So we could already see that low that we could not break again, creating a higher low, a higher high, and now retracement into this area was actually a bounce and an expansion up. So we could easily see another pullback, another push up. And the main reason why I'm saying that is because the following reason. The dollar is in higher time frame resistance at the moment. Look at the dollar right here on the weekly time frame. This is on the weekly, okay? This is weekly resistance. This is not daily resistance. This is the weekly resistance. We closed below that on a Monday, on a Friday, sorry. And this is that level that we have to think about or talk about right there. This is that major area on the weekly time frame. Now, if we manage to break and close above that, do you think that that's going to be good, or you think that's going to be bad for gold, right? Think about that in a second. If the dollar manages to close above this area, it pretty much falls back into this range, okay? It falls back into this larger previous range that we had created in 2025 and 2024, okay? And we pretty much are back after a consolidation, and we'll have a new breakout to the upside right there. The dollar is at a very tricky spot for us right now at the moment, okay? Very tricky spot, because if the dollar is there, all right, and it is breaking and closing above that level, yeah, there is a chance that the dollar will find support at that area, at that high that we could not break forever, okay? Because it's truly a level that we could not break for a long time. We had tapped into it so many times beforehand. Every single time when we did tap into that resistance right there in 2025 June, in May, in August, in November, and in March 2026, and now finally in June 2026, we actually managed to close and break above this for the first time ever. But the real resistance is sitting here, okay? We're kind of in the tunnel. We call it a tunnel. If we manage to close above that tunnel, it's not looking good for gold, in my opinion. It's not a good sign. It's not a good hit for gold, because that means there is just more upside for the dollar on the higher time frame, and more upside on the dollar means more sell pressure on gold potentially. Yeah, so pay attention to this. We are not fully there yet, but that closure will mean everything if we do see that happening by the end of this week, or whatever the case may be here. Okay, so that is important to pay attention to on the higher time frame. The fact that the dollar is currently there. Now, gold at the same time, before I go over the Xau chart, let me just go over gold futures real quick. Okay, because we are indeed reacting from, let me show you right now, higher time frame, supply and demand. And if you have never traded supply and demand before, this is one of the clearest and cleanest demand zones right there. Okay, this is what we call a drop. This is what we call a base. And this is what we call a rally. So a drop, base, rally. And if you take then the wick to the wick, let's take the wick to the wick, let's mark out a zone. And I love supply and demand zones because they have been proven to work on the higher time frame pretty much forever and ever and ever. Okay, you can actually see that we are tapping into that area so well. At this current moment, we're reacting from it, and this is indeed where we created that low. And I also marked this out in our analysis in our Telegram when we did our full video breakdown right there, that this would have been the target eventually, right? That higher time frame demand is something that we were then looking for, right? A reaction in higher time frame demand, etc., etc. However, keep in mind that gold is bouncing right now from this. The dollar is in that resistance as well. But fundamentally speaking and technically speaking on the higher time frame, gold is still, you guessed it right, bearish. Okay, so what we're seeing here is just a short-term bounce, but gold, it's by default bearish. We're still trending downwards. We're still losing levels. We're still getting rejected. We still fail to break the higher highs or create higher highs or whatever. We fail to break structure. Okay, so keep that in mind right now, that we are at a major level. We'll have some local support right now at the moment, but from an overall technical perspective, gold is still pretty bearish right now at this current moment. Okay, where is the next higher time frame supply? Because if there is demand, there is also supply. Not that far away actually. Okay, look at that. This is that supply zone right around there. It's starting at the, and I need to calculate exactly where it is. On futures, it is 4272, and on gold spot, it is the 4255. All right, the 4255 is the higher time frame resistance. Okay, right around here. So we have the boom. We have demand. We have supply. Okay. Now, what happens in between supply and in between demand as well here? Now, what is going to get privileged always when you are trending down? okay? Number one, when you're trending downwards, what we always give preference is clearly the supply zone. Why? Because we're kind of trading with the higher time frame trend, right? And if we're tapping into supply, then it's very important to pay attention to higher time frame resistance. The reason why it's so important to pay to higher time frame resistance is because the fact that as long as we're trading with the trend and sellers are still actively in the market and we fail to break structure like we failed to do here, you will find a lot of resistance on the higher time frame by default, okay? And this is still where the best opportunities, in my opinion, will come from, is by understanding the higher time frame resistance right there, okay? That is pretty much what we call the higher time frame support and resistance, or supply and demand, whatever you want to call it. But the thing about it is you also have the internal structure. You have also like the weekly, okay, the weekly ranges and things like that right around here. So what I want to do, besides the higher time frame stuff right now, I actually want to use something that we call, number one, the volume profile, okay? Who has heard of the volume profile? Let me know in the chat. Have you been using the volume profile? Let me know in the chat. If not, let me explain you how to use it, so you can actually use it properly and actually know exactly how to mark out the right levels. So you can understand where you find the best levels, potentially the best areas of resistance, because they're very easy to spot when using things like the volume profile, okay? And if you want to learn about it, you can download my free book. It's in the description right there. You can learn anything about volume analysis. But anyways, we're going to use 2 profiles today. We're going to use, maybe 3 actually, but we're going to use the previous week, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the fixed volume profile. We're going to take it from Monday of the previous week, the opening of the previous week, to the closure of the previous week, okay? Now, clearly, there's nothing that we can really do here with this information because it's way too high. So that's already a done deal. We're trading below this, okay? We're already trading below what we call the value area of the previous week. So where the most volume was traded was there, of course, the FOMC came, and then on the Thursday, we started to sell off, and we created this whole swing, okay? So then we're going to use something else. We're going to use the last swing high to swing low here. So let's do this. We'll take this high. This is the last kind of swing high after the pullback, and this is the low right there, okay? And now we're seeing something very interesting. Do you see that? We have a series of high volume, which is roughly speaking right around here. And then we have a gap inside of that, below that. Do you see that? We call that a low volume node right there. There is no volume traded here. You see that? Inside of that gap. And if you ask me, how did you predict it the top on a Friday? When we traded on a Friday, for example, how did we do that? Well, we took the previous week, or the fixed range, sorry. And also, what did we do here? We spotted what? The gap. Do you see that? We were trading inside of that gap, where that gap came into fruition. And that was actually the top of the market right there, or at least the pullback right there. And this is why we took our sell limit and we placed it at the top, because of the fact that we were operating in a low volume node. And this time you can see that our next low volume node is actually not that far away. Do you see that? It is actually right around there, okay? So we call that a low volume node, right around there, okay? So this is a super important level that we have to watch. Why? Because it's simply an area where there's less volume traded. We call it imbalance or an inefficiency or anything in that matter. And this is for us going to be crucial, because the price tends to react there regardless, okay? I think that we had an aggressive push up to the upside right now, okay? I think that it's still important to pay attention to the low volume node. You can learn about this in my book as well. We go over it on the live streams a lot more, so you understand the basic foundation. Above that is the point of control, okay? And that is the 4243. That is also an area of resistance. So we can turn this whole thing into a important area of resistance that we have to pay attention to. So this is what we call a potential area of resistance. So gold resistance right around there, okay? Just want to make sure that you guys have marked this out there. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing on futures as well, because I have to look at futures right now as well. You can see the same gap. It's sitting right there on futures as well here. So let's mark this out. You have this level right there, okay? And then I'm going to look at futures and I'm going to say, okay, what level is that? which is right there. And then I'm going to go to the order flow chart to confirm that level in the order flow. And then we're going to see if it makes sense or not. Okay. So what we have on futures is the 4247. And on gold spot, it is actually the 4229. 4229. Okay. That is the actual level on futures. On the gold spot that we have to look at. The 4229. But on gold futures, it is the 4248. Okay, the 4248. So let's look at the order flow real quick. Boom. 4248. Let's look at the order flow. Let's see where we are when we are tapping into 4248. And let's do some order flow stuff right now. Okay, what is order flow? It's pretty much, in this case, what we look at is the footprint chart. The footprint chart represents the market orders that were executed here. Okay, so for example, if there is a limit order and a market order and it formulates a contract and there's an execution, you'll see this on this footprint chart right there. And then you can see if it's predominantly buy market, so market buys or market sells. Okay, if it's red, predominantly the market sells were dominant, the more people were selling. If it's market buys, more people were buying. Now I'm showing you something interesting. Okay, look at this green candle. Look at this red candle. Sorry, this is a red candle. What is interesting about that candle is that the most volume in that candle was actually this zone right there, the 3.4 and the 3.7 thousand contracts. So that is a lot of volume inside of this candle, more volume than the rest of the candle right there. Okay, so then you look at, okay, who has predominantly been active there? Is it buyers or sellers? Who has been dominant? Buyers. Okay, if it was buyers, why did the candle close bearish? Because those buyers got absorbed by people that were executing those sell limits. So there was an absorption of buyers. And then what happens? The candle closes bearish. It pulls back to those buyers. Those buyers are trapped in their position because they went long. And they're like, oh shit, the price is coming back. I'm going to close my trade. That creates selling pressure. Because if you have to close your buy, you need to sell. And if you need to close your sell, you need to buy. And that closes and creates selling pressure. And that pushes price to push down. Same thing happened here. Trap buyers, pullback, right? Trap buyers, pullback. Sellers to control again, rejection. Anyways, we look at this from an order flow perspective and we always ask ourselves two questions. Who is in control and who got stuck in a trade? And if you can figure that out, you can find and confirm areas of support and areas of resistance, okay? So around this area right here, we have the green zone right there. Because what do we see in that green zone? A lot of volume, number one. A lot of volume traded around there, okay? And I'm saying a lot of volume. 44,000 contracts, that's a lot of volume. And a lot more buyers and sellers, okay? So that will cause potentially some friction, some resistance, something that you have to pay attention to. And that starts around the 50s. So that is exactly, roughly speaking, that area that you have to watch in case price gets there, okay? Now, at the same time, let's also talk about the push up here. Why did gold push up so aggressively? And why did gold actually, shoot up and now it's pulling back quite aggressively as well here? Okay, number one, the dollar is still in support. The dollar has not broken structure yet. Okay, you might think, oh, the dollar is super weak. But keep in mind, the dollar has not broken structure in any way, shape, or form. Okay, I do want to make sure that you understand this. This is the 4-hour time frame. We are still trading above the 4-hour support. Okay, as long as the dollar is trading above the 4-hour support, in my opinion, I will be very careful with buying gold, because the fact that if the dollar continues to rise up, which is possible, it will just create more selling pressure and put it on gold again. Okay. So the dollar has to really break below, in my opinion, what we call this range. Okay, if the dollar breaks below this range, and we see this consolidation right there, and we manage to break below this, and let's say we create a high and we break down and we pull back, I think that is a moment to buy and say, I'm gonna buy gold right there. So we want to see the dollar dropping, and we want to see the gold. We want to see gold pulling back into an area where buying makes sense for it to potentially buy. But for now, the dollar is still holding up. It's still above that support, and we need to break structure, man. The dollar needs to break down. The dollar needs to actually break below, in my opinion, this level right here. Okay, the dollar needs to break structure for gold to become attractive to buy. Okay, right around there. Anyways, pay attention to this level. The higher time frame resistance, that is a level that I'm really curious about because of this area right there. It is pretty much the area that we were looking for. It's around a 20 pip range or 20 point range, I believe, and it's exactly a 20 point range. I think it's completely correct. That is the exact level that we're looking for. And it pretty much comes up until the, until the zone that we're looking at, right? Pretty much. So let's see if gold can get there. If it's possible for gold to get there, I would be really cautious with buying gold still, because of the fact that the dollar has not broken structure yet, and gold is pretty much bearish on the higher time frame. We just had a little push, a little retracement inside of that demand zone, but I would highly recommend to be very careful with buying gold now at this current moment. Okay, these lows are open. We have not created a lower, higher high, which includes like a reversal play. It could easily be just a breakdown, you know, another impulsive move for it to lose its momentum, for it to sell off, etc., etc. I think that we should be more patient and wait for sells than wait for buys. That's personally what I would look for. If we do manage to break down with the dollar and gold breaks up and we pull back, we have a larger expansion. We'll probably see something like this. And then we can think about the pullback for longs. Then I think there is more conviction to buy gold in pullbacks. It also gives us the opportunity to create more demand on the higher time frame for gold right now at the moment. This looks too much of an impulse move, rather than it being a level that we really have to watch really carefully right now at the moment here. Okay, so let's just pay attention and see how gold reacts if you push up higher, and where we will find the majority of that resistance, and see if we can get to that area. I think it's possible, but we have to just be patient and wait, I think, for that level to be hit, and then we can talk about it, because we have been waiting for this level for a long time already. Actually, I was looking at this level already on a Friday, but price kept coming down and kept coming down. And then I was like, no, this resistance is way too high. Let me look at this other level. And that was then at that moment, this area right there, which we shorted, which was this high to this low. And yeah, we shorted it from this area, right? That low volume node right there at the time. This was this level. And that was in essence the trade that we took right there, right? This level right there. Sometimes you have to just watch at the new level, the new resistance getting formed on the lower time frame, and be more aggressive, especially when the market is trending down so clean and pulling back so clean. It's usually just a continuation play. It was just an impulse move for price to continue to drop lower. And that's what we saw there, right? So that's pretty much this resistance. Now, in my opinion, we need to watch the big resistance, the larger resistance. Okay? Are you live on TikTok as well? Not yet, but I will be in the future. But right now, no. There are a lot of, I guess, fakies out there. Yes, a lot of fakies out there at the moment. Okay? Yeah, a lot of fakies. If you watch from TikTok right now, then you're not at the right address. You need to be on YouTube, my friend. You need to be on YouTube, because TikTok is fake. I will be on TikTok in the future. I said it to myself. There are a couple things that I want to do. I wanted to open a free Telegram group. That's what I've done. I wanted to stream on TikTok as well. That's number 2, because I heard it's very nice. It's very... it's growing. It's a growing market. And I wanted to stream and test the ASIN session. That's another thing that I wanted to do. So the ASIN session, Telegram, and TikTok. Now, we've done 2 already. So now we need to see what TikTok is all about. Yeah. Yeah, another thing, Iran news. Of course, we had some Iran news too. Trump canceled the peace deal agreement. You guys heard about it. We did expect it a bit more of a push down, to be honest, because of that news. But keep in mind, we were operating in higher time frame demand. So it's not really a surprise that we maybe reacted as well. I'm not like, oh, wow, it went the other direction. No, no, no. But keep in mind, we were super oversold as well. Right on gold. We were super oversold. After the FOMC here, we had a pullback and we had straight up bearish candle after bearish candle. Pretty much the whole day on a Thursday and Friday. So, yeah, we needed a bit of a pullback, I guess. Bit of an impulse move. Why choose Bali for a living? Because it's nice. It's very nice. Okay. Yeah, let's keep a close eye on the dollar too, right? It's important that we really pay attention to the dollar. Because if the dollar breaks out, then it's just going to be another push. Another push higher. Yeah, push it higher for now. You can definitely say that. Isn't it too crowded in Bali? Nope. Maybe there's a bit of traffic, but if you have a nice car, or you're like, you know, you have a good driver, you can work. You have your laptop, you work, and you don't notice it, and you just do your thing, and before you know it, you are at your location. Netherlands looked good yesterday. Yes, the Netherlands looked incredible. Incredible. Keep in mind, I put $1,000 on the Netherlands if they win the World Cup. You know what that means? That means 20x return. A 20x return. If that comes to fruition. Is Bali really that nice or actually overrated? I think that a lot of people they come to Bali and they don't know where to go. And they go to like the most famous places. And yeah, it's like obviously if you have no experience, like you don't know here what the good places are, locations are, restaurants are, and you just follow the crowd, and yeah, you're not gonna have the ultimate experience, let's say. Okay? But yeah. Bali is getting more expensive as well. It's no longer the backpacking place that you go to if you don't have any money. Nope. It's getting expensive. In a good way, in my opinion. It's a good thing. Okay, cool. We reached the 2,000 members in our Telegram group, which is great. It's the first Telegram group that we have built last week. We created it a couple days ago. And yeah, I really love the free updates, things like that. The levels, the zones. But you have to pay attention. You have to listen to my breakdown. You have to listen to my, analysis. You have to do it. You have to put in some effort. You know what I mean? To go through it. You have to go through the actual breakdown. You have to put some time. into the setups. Then you can get some nice trades as well. You know what I mean? You have to put in some nice effort. But anyways, for me, it's a great way of reaching you, which is great. No idea why I didn't start this earlier, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really hope that we're gonna get to the 29, man. That'll be so good. But yeah, we'll watch this carefully. We're already overvalued. And we'll watch the hourly candle closure too, though. We'll watch the hourly candle closure as well, because if it's if this thing closes bearish, we might have to be a bit more aggressive today, to be honest. But let's see where we close there in an hour. We want to wait for hourly open, because, you know, if you are in a short now, let's say you enter a short position, and then the hourly candle, the new hourly candle gets created. And then in some cases, or in most cases, you could say we can even set in a top wick first. So it's not really necessary. It's better to wait for the closure, see where the orders are located, and then, you know what I mean? Pull back. It's a bit aggressive, but okay. Damn. Yeah. Hourly closure, and then we might have to shift it down. What's the current price of futures and spot right now? What's the difference? Let's see. The futures price is 4215 and the spot price is 4198. So you could say that is around a 18-point difference. 18-point difference. Okay. Yeah, what are the settings? Yeah, right there. You can also read it in my book. All the settings are actually in there. So you go to here, you go to volume analysis, you go to volume is king, the volume profile, sorry. And then you read about the actual settings as well, all the settings and stuff, things like that. Okay. And you learn a little bit about the market, the stock market, by the way, how it's got built. Did you know that the first stock market was actually created in a city called Amsterdam? Amsterdam City. Yes. That was before London became the capital of finance. The Dutch created the first official publicly traded stock in the 1600s. Wow. What is the next level that you're watching? Well, I'm watching this resistance. If we can't get there and we close this hourly candle bearish like this, okay? Then I wait for the pullback into this wick. And I look for shorts as well. lower. But I have mismarked out. The 4229 is still my favorite level to watch. But I can see that gold is dropping a little bit aggressively, and Asian sessions are clean, man. They're not as manipulative as gold as New York. You know what the problem is? If you are a and this is something I had to really adapt, because the problem is, as a New York trader, let's say, right? Traded in New York sessions for years and stuff. Like you're literally trained to believe that everything is a scam. That everything is a manipulation. Everything has to manipulate the highs, the lows 5 times, because that's what you're used to. And then you trade the Asian session, it's like, oh, okay, so like price can go up and price can come down, and it can keep going down and it can keep going up. Really? Like no pullback? No, it just like drops right away. It doesn't sweep you out 5 times before you go. Oh, it's like, oh, wow. It's like, wow, okay, nice. Still need our confirmations though, still need our levels, still need our zones, but like, you know what I mean? It's like definitely different. What will be the level? Well, I'm watching this one, the 20. So that's the 4202. And the 15. So 4202 and the 15. Something like this. As well. I'm watching the zone. Only post-hourly closure. MSPRKR9298. Lorenzo, I'm a dedicated follower. Love your education. Can I please have access to your stuff index? Yes. Yeah, send me your trading username then, man. MSPRKR9298. Send me your username. Only you, my friend. Only you. We're going to do a general giveaway later on. But I remember you. I remember you. Okay. Yeah, I'm watching this hourly closure because I think that this is a pretty bearish closure. If you pull back into this, I think we could create a double top potentially. Pull back to the Sunday open. Which is this level. I hope the price was going to go up immediately to that major resistance. Then I would literally press sell and just forget about forget about the day. Set and forget. Set and forget. But we got rejected a little bit lower. And yeah, we'll wait for pullback. Dollar seems to be holding up. Yeah, let's go to the 5 minute. It's probably somewhere around Yeah, it's probably somewhere around here. Yeah, we will pull back, I think, at some point, though, to be honest. MSPRKR, okay. MSPRKR. Add access, apply. There we go, man. What about the volume footprint of TradingView? I've never used it properly, so I can't really tell you if it's good or not. I don't know. I don't know. I can't give you an honest, objective answer. I don't know. I can assume it. I can assume and say no, right? Because it's not the data feed of futures, like the X feed, for example, right here. The market depth. But I also use the volume profile on the gold spot chart as well, and that works also really good. So I don't really want to throw things out there. Yeah, what would be the short? Would be something like this, I guess. It's will be some sort of pullback scenario, aligning with this. Yeah, that low volume node that we see a little bit lower, but it will be the confirmation of that area. So I have been watching this level 2. We'll watch it. We'll watch it. Hourly closure is going to be there soon. Yeah, the 4220. So that is going to be the 4220. Sell limit. Yeah, I think it's roughly speaking the same level. work? 4205, I would say, right? 4205, yeah. Yeah, right there. Okay, hourly candle is closed, so this is exactly what I want. I want to see a little bit of a pullback. I think we could see a pullback. Because if you look at the valuation right now, I think that we have we had an overvaluation here. We kind of found a top, we had an undervaluation there. Kind of found a bottom, undervaluation here. We found like the bottom, overvaluation there. We found like the top. And now we're undervalued, you see that? So we might see still a lower low, or sorry, higher low getting formed now in the short term. But we need to start to see a pullback hopefully soon already, and not a complete sell-off already. We need to start seeing some sort of pullback here. And then see if we could get into that lower high. To get into that lower high. And that aligns beautifully with this hourly zone because we trapped a bunch of buyers that bought at the top. Right here. And the candle flipped really bearish, but there were actually more buyers than sellers in this candle. Look at that. 196 positive delta means more people press market buy than market sell. And 8.1K contracts is pretty big. It's a pretty big candle for an hourly candle around this time period in Asia. So the fact that we flipped bearish means there are a lot of sellers in the market that are passively anticipating in gold. And I think that these buyers that are mainly stuck there are going to potentially then exit the trade. And I think that's a good moment for us to sell. And that is exactly that level. You know? So sell limit is set for that reason. And then I would love to target is the Sunday open, the opening price of the week again. Getting us back to the open. I hope we pull back. Because that is the best level for me. That I think that I would feel the most comfortable with. What is the yellow line? That's the opening price of the week. That's the Sunday open right there. Do you think we will pull back? I mean, I hope so, man. I hope so, because... yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope so, because I like this level. I mean, no need to chase the market, right? Like look at all my trading examples in Telegram, pretty much all the trades of this week. By the way, actually kind of interesting. I barely lost. I think I had one small... No, I didn't even have a loss last week. I had a win on Monday. Huge trade on Monday. Then on a Tuesday, I closed my trade on break even, which is actually not the smartest thing to do because the trade played out later on. On a Wednesday, yeah, that was this one. That was the position. Oh, actually, we made money on that trade right there, and then we closed on break even. Right here. But in terms of our stream, inside of the so the dollar, I just want to set it and we'll go. Right, I closed it on break even. No, it was on a Tuesday. Okay, because same time I also I closed it on break even. Yeah, that was actually not the best because price continued to drop. After that, closed the trade in profit for 400. Okay. But that was the that was indeed on that on the stream trade. Let's put it this way, right? It was the stream setup. That's what matters right now, not the aftermath. Then we had another one, I think, on a Wednesday. That was just FOMC. Closed it for a quick $500 before the FOMC. Didn't want to play the ranges anymore. There was nothing happening during the week. It was just range. Then the FOMC came. Then the real move came. Then the market left the range. But it was really hard to trade during the day because of the fact that we were pretty much in a range. And then Thursday was the stream trade in our sell zone that got activated. What's happening, Telegram? And then Friday, we had our analysis done, our pre-analysis, because I was not streaming on YouTube. That's why I can reach you guys out on Telegram right now. So much better. That trade played out because we traded towards that, and then we traded after that. No, man, last week was a good week. Last week was a good trading week. Cannot complain. Anna says, I don't think it will pull back. Why would you say that? Let me know. I mean, it's Asia. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are correct. I don't know. Oh. Maybe you are correct. I hope it will pull back though. Do you consider the monthly and the yearly point of control? Not necessarily always. No, not really. The monthly by default sometimes, yes. The weekly, always. And the daily as well. So sometimes if we trade above the point of control of the daily, we tend to look for buys, but in this example, we actually want to trade towards that zone. Asian session doesn't really believe in pullbacks. They love one-sided flow. I mean, look at that candle though. Look at that candle. Look at this one. Look at that beauty right there. There we go, finally. This is the trade idea pullback into the 4220 and then continuation. This is my I have my sell limit there, right? I have a sell limit at the 4220, yeah, on futures, which is 4205 on spot. So it's not working. Okay. The Telegram link doesn't get open. I think because you're from India, man. That's what I think. Because Indians are not allowed. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, Indians are literally not allowed because of the government. I think the government is prohibiting Indians now from, or your country is prohibiting you from entering Telegram because of the, there's some law or some rule. I don't know why, but there's something around the educational or the exams or something. And this will be coming back. I think tomorrow it will open again. So that's why. I was like, only 2,000 people in a couple days? No. I think it will go open very soon, man. Yeah. How many trades do you do average on a weekly? I mean, if you look at last week, We had around 2 trades a day. On average, I guess. I think that's already more than enough for me. So like 8, 9, 10 a week. Maybe your guys are right. Maybe no pullback today. It's a very easy rejection here. Well, we're still above the VWAP, so let's be patient. And this 4-hour candle is going to close as well here. It's going to be very interesting to see where this candle closes. And it's pretty clear to me right now that price here is getting rejected by those sellers as well. And the buyers stepped in and they're now stuck in their trade. So I remain bearish bias, especially if this 4-hour candle closes like this right now in around an hour and a half. Then I think I'm pretty bearish biased for the rest of the session as well, and also London session. So yeah, it will be interesting to watch this. Why not spread the 3 lots for better entry? I mean, for me personally, that is in my opinion the entry that I would look for. It's like the retracement pretty much into our major zone and then sells. And if price does not retrace, yeah, then we have to really consider this zone. Yeah, that will be another reaction, because we are in higher time frame support as well. We will probably react from this area. Let me mark it out here, the low volume node of that range, which is this level. And that will be again a potential bounce as well. Even though I'm very careful with buying, this is still an area where you could react, from. In case we push up, we might see a reaction again. So anyways, we'll watch it, but I hope we'll pull back, because that's the only thing that I want to do today, is I want to trade the pullback at that level. And yeah, my sell limit is already set. The pullbacks have been lovely though, right? They have been lovely. So let's hope that we at least see that. We might see this though. Still. Fantastic Wilson says, I heard recently there are robberies there. Especially they rob the rich houses. Yeah, but I have security. We have 24/7 security here, so you can try to come in. But it's not gonna work. It's not really gonna do it. I'm sure security doesn't make that much, no, but you have to tip them. That's how it works. It's true though, what you guys are saying is true. I have to admit it. If Asia goes, it goes, man. If Asia goes, it goes. Right? That's 100% true. If it goes, it goes. We're gonna hold this level up. There is no doubt about that here. Where's the support? Yeah, I already told you guys that support is gonna be at the 75. So that is exactly this area right here, this zone right there. And we might actually bounce again. So we might actually respect this too. But it's always better to sell now, in my opinion still, than to buy gold in this condition. But hey, I think still we can give it a try, because we will be tapping into this resistance on the dollar on the 4-hour time frame. In case we pull back, there is still a chance that we'll react here. And we create a bounce again. Because of this higher low formation here, but I would definitely prefer to get into sells. Definitely. Even though I do expect a reaction from the bottom too. Which would be a 4164. So actually that will be considered buys as well. And it's supported in both sides. And I cannot always say that every day. But we are trading above the point of control, I think, of yesterday. Of the last trading session. Yes, we are. And we have that huge gap sitting there. Which is this area. No, so we definitely have, you definitely have some support here to think about in case we pull back. Definitely have a level to watch. Yeah, 4164. 4164. Usually we're very one directional, but I think in this circumstance, you can see that we are also going to find higher time frame resistance that we talked about. And that resistance is there. And we'll tap into that resistance. If we shoot up right now, we'll tap into that resistance, which is right there. And then gold will probably be around here. So yeah, it's probably going to be both sides still today. Is the Telegram group for the updates free? Yeah, it's 100% free. That's why I created it. It's just an extension of my stream. That's it. And I mean, if you have like 2,000 people in the group, which we started last week, and we get like 1,200 views, then that's pretty good, if you ask me, you know? That's a pretty good engagement, I would say. Is your book free? Yeah, book is free as well. Yeah, free. Book free, Telegram free. Let your boy make his money trading. And every 6 weeks, do like a small group mentorship program. A serious program, by the way, and one of the best, in my opinion. Explaining the gold hybrid trading system. But we're closed right now, so that is not for you right now. I think that the main focus for you should be download the free book, learn about the volume profile, learn about the daily analysis, I would say. Hop into the Telegram group so you can see what my perspective is on a daily basis. And if you like it, it's a stayer. And join the live streams, I would say. The ASIN session live streams are coming back, are staying for now. I really like it personally. And the New York session live streams will come back at some point as well. But the market has to settle a little bit. Yeah, the market has to settle. And what's going to happen a lot of times is that the trade does not always play out on stream immediately. But if you are in Telegram, then you will see what the next trade will be, or you will get updated about the trading in case we do get there. So let me know where you guys are from in the chat. I'm actually very curious right now. Just in general, I'm kind of curious because it's a different group. It's a different audience. Let's see. Morocco versus Netherlands. Who's going to win that? The World Cup. What do you think? India, Ghana, Dubai, Indonesian, Sydney, Canada, Bangladesh, Romania. Wow, that's late. Ireland, that's late. Australia, Germany, New Zealand. Yeah, it's a lot more Australia, New Zealand, Canada. You know what I mean? USA, India. Less Europeans, of course. All right, damn, awesome, man. Wow. France, Vietnam, Mozambique, China, Poland, Mars, North Korea. Okay. Okay, we're shooting up. So let this be the pullback. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna place this trade to Telegram soon. And also another trade, which is, sorry. I'm gonna place this trade to Telegram and also another trade. Because the more I'm looking at this low as well, the more I'm looking at the range itself here, the more interesting this range is getting too, in case we pull back. Sells are obviously the best in my opinion. No matter what. If we pull back here, I'm still looking to sell. Because I don't really see the dollar stopping right now. The dollar is holding up really well. Like the dollar has not even breaking structure at all. Right? It's just pretty much just respecting every low. It's respecting every pullback. And yeah, the dollar is just doing what the dollar does. And we're trading above this range. Yeah, it doesn't look weak to me. The dollar does not look weak to me. Let's put it this way. Okay? Dollar does not really look weak to me at all. No, we're definitely not looking weak. That's for sure. We really have to break that line that we talked about here on the dollar. If you want to look weaker on the dollar, I think then gold can kind of shift its momentum, but the reason why I'm still looking at these buys there is just because the fact that even though the dollar is not looking weak, we're still facing higher time frame resistance very soon. And we had a major push up here. We had also a lot of volume traded around here, which we broke above. So that there's definitely a lot of interest still at the bottom. Might not be the longest string today, to be honest. Because I could just set out the trades and just wait. And it's also the Monday, right? It's also the Monday. So we're setting up the foundation of the week too. It's the weekly candle as well, right? The weekly candle is getting set. I'm looking at the order flow of the previous week. A lot of people don't really look at this, but man, if there is one life hack, trading-wise, it is the order flow of the weekly time frame. Okay, this is every candle that you see here is a weekly candle, and it's super powerful if you know how to use this correctly. And this is what we teach in the gold hybrid trading system all the time: is to also look at the higher time frame order flow, not just the lower time frame order flow. The higher time frame order flow as well here. So the white lines are the point of controls of the day. And the green is if buyers are trapped. And the candle closure. These are the three criteria you need to look for. Is it green? Is it red at around the high volume areas? And where did the candle close? If you understand that, you know who's stuck, who's in control, who's trapped, where the most volume was traded. Now, that is actually one of the biggest confirmations. And it helps significantly with finding really good setups. And even if gold would come up higher, the amount of resistance gold will face and the amount of hard time, the amount of resistance gold has to break through in order to become quote unquote bullish and to change the trend is off the charts, it's off the records. Like the amount of selling pressure that gold will face is ridiculous. So I still feel that we can drop lower. I still don't see it happening right now. I don't see the shift happening here. Something really crazy needs to happen, in my opinion, to believe that the gold will break out at the moment. And it looks to me more like gold is ready to drop a bit lower still. 3800s. Okay, the 3900. At first, etc., etc. Yeah, it doesn't look we're there yet. Did you have any red day last week? No, not at all. Not last week, at least. I had a bit of a nasty day on a Tuesday, but patience won. Just being patient, waiting for price to pull back. And yeah, lower risk. So we managed to get out. And actually managed to trade on the top even though. So I still made money. Right there. Which I cut quite quickly. All right, guys, a quick right now. Hold on. If I have it. Anyways, yeah, no, we broke even on that. That was actually the drawdown that we had to deal with. Yeah, so we shorted it there. Closed it there half. Oh, yeah, that's what I did. I shorted it, closed half. And then I got stopped out on break even on the remaining position. And then I closed the other trade on break even. Yeah. That was the most kind of annoying day, Tuesday. Shanita says, after a lot of analysis, gold is not moving according to plan. Yeah, we cannot control how gold will move. We can only control where I would like to buy, where I would like to sell. So anything in between that, I'm not going to say, yeah, gold is going to do this, and then it's going to do this, and then it's going to do this, and then it's going to do this. And now we're going to go down, and now we're going to go up. I'm just saying two things. This is my area of interest here, and this is my potential area of interest there. If price gets there, then X, then Y. Right? If price can get here, and we react, then X, then Y. Then I'm willing to do this or do that. So you're no longer in that state of like, oh, now, what's going to happen now? What's gold doing now? Are we going to go up now? Are we going to go down now? Do I need to buy now or do I need to sell now? Instead of that, you can just say, if price gets there, or if price gets there, I'll do this. Or if price gets there, I'll do that. So it's so much more chill, bro. So much more relaxed, and you make more money. Most of the time. We can also ask you guys to buy right now. So the market moves a bit. And that's actually the reason why we opened the Telegram group, right? Is to update you after the stream. If there is no trade on the stream, which is not every stream. This is just transparently speaking, right? We're not in the trade every stream. Why don't you just look at the orders and set an alert, come back, and based on that, take the trade? Yeah, that's what I do when I'm not streaming, of course. Then I can just do that. If I'm streaming, then we kind of want to watch a little bit if price gets there. But if let's say after like a couple minutes or like a certain moment of time I'm not in the trade, then I'll just say, you know what? I'll keep you guys updated in Telegram. And that's it. We've done our analysis, and we'll see what happens. And that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. And the thing is, we're going to be here. I'm here every day almost, right? So it's like a daily thing. It's like a habit. It's something that I would do anyways by myself. Regardless, I would do this anyways. I will be doing the same thing as I will be with you guys right now, is to set up my levels, set up my zones, and wait for price to get there. Do you trade any other sessions? I do trade New York. It's a bit of a different market though. What is the timing of your stream? I would say 9 a.m. is like 9 p.m. Sorry, 9 p.m. is a standard time. So 9 p.m. New York time. That is 9 a.m. for me. Okay. So 9 p.m. New York is 9 a.m. for me. So that's usually the time that I stream. Sometimes a little bit earlier, depending on the market. Like a couple minutes earlier, 30 minutes earlier. But it's usually around 9. Yes. Not bad, not bad. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, I thought that Asian sessions do not pull back. No Asian pullbacks today? Well, clearly we have a pullback. And again, we were a bit undervalued as well, right? A bit undervalued. Like we were here. And like we were here. But that's where we don't want to sell. Because when we're undervalued like that on the 5 minute, you don't want to sell. Predominantly, you get worse sell positions. You get into worse entries. So, yeah. Yeah, let's see if I can write something here. Still rejection though right now. And the rejection there. What is the best area of sells? Well, I marked out a zone right there. This is pretty aggressive if you ask me. But there's another one above this at the 29. That one is top. That one is a sell that I will definitely also take as well in case we get there. This is a bit more aggressive, but also makes sense because of a couple different reasons. Retracement, trap buyer sitting there, a lot of volume, 8.1 thousand contracts is a lot of volume. Is a lot of volume. And look at that, a huge order. You see that? Look at that huge order below at 4,000 on futures. As long as those big orders are sitting below there and there's not much happening above in general, this will keep adding as a magnet. We'll keep reacting as some sort of magnet as well to the market. This is like a massive order. Massive order. So there are a lot of orders sitting there below. And this is always something that I look at during Asian session. Is like, where are the big orders? Where are the big orders sitting? Are they sitting below price or above price? And if they're sitting above price and I see that that price gives me like a sell confirmation type of formation, then I target those zones. I target those areas, you could say. Shouldn't be your trading view time 11 a.m. Yes, actually it is. It is 11 a.m. But yeah, I'm using New York time sessions. It was actually not far away from a limit order. Yeah, so that's one level, the 4184 on futures. That's a big order, 182 contracts. Then we have another one at 4050, and then we have a one much lower. You think, oh, we'll never get there. It's not even about that necessarily that we will get there. It's more about like the fact that these orders are placed there. And there are not many big orders placed above there. The only big order that I see is sitting at 4,680. But like, that's like not much in comparison to something that's much closer by, which is a series of much more orders sitting below. And yeah, it just looks much more appealing to look at those big orders below than those big orders above, in my opinion, right now. Doesn't look that great. I'm afraid that we're going to drop again, to be honest. I'm afraid that we're going to drop and we're not going to get to that level again. Even though it was very close. Around 2 points or 20 pips. But let's see. Yeah, if price does break down again right now, then I'll wait for price. Then I'll just wait for this setup here, potentially later on. Keep you in the loop. But yeah, we got last weekend some amazing entries. Cannot deny some amazing setups. By just being patient and waiting for levels to be hit, to sell zones, buy zones, predominantly selling zones. Did we actually buy last week? I took one buy on a Friday. That was the only buy we took. Boom. That's pretty much it. I think there was no buying zone for the rest, right? No buying, only selling, right? Selling, 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 selling. Oh yeah, Monday. Monday was the last buy, the last real buy that we talked about publicly. The rest was all sells pretty much. Yeah, so like I think it was like 5 sells and 1 buy. And yeah, 1 buy yesterday, Friday, but that was actually another setup. Antman says, looking like a bunch of signal bots in the chat. You know, the thing is, a lot of people are also here to learn, man. Like, they're actually here to learn to become better as well. Not everyone here is like just going for that. There are people there that just come for the trades and that's it, and they don't care about anything else. But I mean, that's up to them, right? There are a lot of people that are also here learning every day and coming and learning and asking questions and things like that. And of course, today is more of a slow day. Today is the Monday. So we need to see how the week develops. But this is what I always say. The streams get interesting more interesting day after day. Because the Monday sets like the tone of the week. We set the weekly open. The weekly candle gets created. And then the Tuesday allows us to kind of see if we're going to reach the top or the bottom of the week. We can kind of follow that weekly cycle throughout the week, and that's interesting to watch. Yeah, today will be a bit of a shorter stream, so I will probably be able to stream only like 20 minutes. If we're not filled in like 20 minutes, I'll keep you updated in Telegram. And tomorrow I can do a really long stream. Tomorrow I could do like a, whatever, if needed, a 4-hour stream. Or whatever is needed. Whatever the time we need for our trade or whatever. Not like that 6-hour stream that we did here once. When was that? Here. Where is that stream? Here, 6 hours and 26 minutes. All right. 6 hours and 26 minutes. That was a nasty stream. That was a nasty stream. After that, I think we did 4 hours and 30 minutes. That was not bad. That was not bad. 3 hours, 46 minutes. Not bad. I mean, not bad. Long streams are the best streams, I have to admit. I enjoy those streams the most too. I realized that since a couple of your previous streams, you were not using the weekly volume profile. Any new strategies are you using the swing? Yes, of course, because of the market being momentum driven right now, right? That is the main reason why. That's a good question, by the way. If the market is in a range, okay, the market is just in a range. We used the previous week, right? But if the market is trending down, like it was doing it since Thursday, let's say, and we are trading below the previous weekly range, this is the whole week, right? Then most of the volume of the previous weekly range is here. We are trading here. So we have nothing to do right now with the value area of the previous week at all. We're already below that, right? We're trending. So the only way to look at the market correctly and use the volume profile is by using the swings. The swing high, the swing low. This is why this is that level of resistance that we're looking for sells. Right there. This is why this area is such a good level to sell from. All that makes sense. It depends on the market, right? So if the market is more rangy and we're trading in the weekly range of the previous week, we use the previous weekly range. How much is YouTube paying you for the streams? Is that enough to pay the bills, bro? It's a joke, bro. Trust me. If you are a content creator on YouTube, so you make videos, you can get paid. You can probably some good money. I don't know how much exactly, but in order to make good money on YouTube, you need millions and millions of views. And live streamers don't get paid much at all. If I wanna make money from the streams, I have to go to like kick.com or like Twitch, like these actual streaming platforms, not YouTube. Yeah, YouTube does not pay much. But who cares? Who cares about that? It's like it's a waste. If that's the focus, then we're wasting our time. Let's put it this way. YouTube pays me as much as I would make on a single trade. On a regular, normal trade. Not a great trade. So I hope you can kind of put it in perspective. Ravishan, morning, man. How are you doing? Good to see you. Is this indicator below an RSI? It's not the RSI. It's an indicator that I give away on the streams. Or have been giving away a bit on the streams. It is the DXY against gold valuation. Okay, it's a valuation tool. Yeah, if we lose this level, I think that we're just gonna drop, man. That's it. Sorry, I don't think that we're gonna get filled right away. Then I have to wait for price to get to the 64. But at some point, we will either get here or we will get here. Like at some point, we'll get there. So I'm gonna give it like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then we'll know. And it gives us the time as well for this hourly candle to close again. And then we have just set our levels, but we were actually pretty close of getting filled here, but we did not. But I'm never really worried about this on a Monday regardless, because the Monday kind of allows me to just set the foundation. Foundation Mondays. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's a good one. It's true, though. It's true. It's true that the Monday sets the tone. It sets the foundation of the week. Because the weekly candle needs to open up. It needs to go up. It needs to go down. It needs to create a top wick. It needs to create a bottom wick. It needs to create the wick. And that's true. That's definitely true. A couple times registered through email, but I still didn't get an ebook. Okay, we'll figure it out later, man. Maybe check your spam folder. Okay. We'll figure it out in case we get there. Okay, Peru, I'm out to the gym. Thank you for the informative Monday. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, we're taking it easy today. We're just looking at the market here. We have our 2 zones marked out. What I'm going to do is if I'm not going to get filled in the next, let's say, 10 minutes, then I will make an analysis in the Telegram and I will post my zones in there. Or what I can actually do, now I'm thinking about it, I wait for price to get to the zones and then I'll look for a potential reaction here. But I would think there are 2 zones you should already mark out no matter what. And that's the 4205 and that is the 4164. Like put a line on there, put a zone on there, put something on there like a block or whatever. And watch those 2 levels because I think they're both important to watch. But one thing is for certain, I'm in the medium term, not necessarily still bullish, not necessarily bullish on gold. Okay, but I do expect at least some sort of reaction here in the short term. So today, or like London or whatever. But in the medium term, I'm still pretty bearish on gold, to be honest. I'm not really fully there yet that gold is going to reverse here. Especially after last week. Last week was really, it really showed last week that we have these 2 major areas. 2 major zones right there that we really are looking at that I think are really hard to going to be taken out. And we're going to have a lot of resistance. And I think it will be very hard for gold to change this trend. But yeah, any reversal, short term maybe. But medium term, I'm not fully booked that we're going to reverse here or we're bullish. Market's losing strength down though. It seems like a consolidation before an expansion. It is true that we failed to set in the lower low. We took out the lows and we created an aggressive high. So yes, I am willing to look at this at the 14164 for potential buys as well, right? This is why we're kind of operating in between these 2 areas right now. At the 64, in case we break down, which we could definitely get there. We could definitely get there because gold has no power to push back up to our level. And if that's the case, then the 64 is the best level to wait for, in my opinion. Because we're dealing with this beautiful gap and the range itself, which is actually very nice. It is a nice breakout. So yeah, I think that we're just going to do this today, guys, to be honest. Okay. The 64 is definitely the level to watch if you pull back down because of the low, the higher high, the range, the manipulation low, the higher high, the retest. And yeah, watch this zone very carefully, I would say. It's actually a much bigger zone. Okay, it goes from 64 down to 52. That is the zone to watch. That is the zone to watch. The 64 down to the 52. If we pull back to this area, I actually am very interested in seeing if there is buying potential there. And I would not sell here myself. I would wait for the pullback into the 05 or even the 29. Okay. These are like my 2 zones for sells. My buys are sitting at 64. And I think we can look for both. We can look for both buys and we can look for sells as long as we are trading above the previous daily point of control. Why? Because we're trading above the point of control of yesterday, of Friday. That means that buyers are willing to step in, that sellers are getting a bit exhausted. You can also see this right there. Right? Sellers are a little bit oversold. There's still a lot of selling here, but buyers are really defending a level, which is this level. They're really trying to defend this area. And sellers are getting a bit exhausted there, but the reason why sells are still relevant is because the trend is not shifting bullish, right? We're still bearish. The trend itself is still bearish. So you're kind of fighting a pullback trade. You can get into like a pullback trade, but the trend is still bearish. So you have both buys and sells, in my opinion, that make sense, that you can both utilize from both angles. If we lose the point of control of yesterday, so we lose this level, we lose the 52, yeah, then it gets really nasty. And then it gets tricky. And then I think we're just going to continue to drop and sell off and look for lower targets. Right there. Yeah. But for now, I would say if price gets to the 64, I'm going to buy. If price gets up to the 205, I will buy. I would sell. If price gets to the 29, I would sell too. It's pretty simple, actually. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it, guys. I'm going to keep the stream a bit shorter today, okay? I have a couple other things that I need to take care of today. I have also a stream I'm going to do with my private group. So I'm looking forward to this as well here. This is what we call the gold hybrid trading system, the channel, the elite group. I have around 15 to 20 people that join me a month. And we lead them through all the sessions and the whole library and the whole roadmap and everything and the events and the trades, etc., etc., etc. So we have a lot of things to do. I have a live stream with them later on in New York. But for you, I would recommend to join the Telegram group right now. There are a couple things that I need to fix around my book. A couple people were not able to download the book, I guess. So I need to figure that out. But get into the Telegram group right here. Okay. Make sure that you are updated in case we get to the buying zone. And I'll keep you guys updated around the trades and stuff from there. And yeah, we're going to be streaming the whole week, every day. And I'm really looking forward to this week because I expect some nice price action though, some clean price action overall. Even though we're in between a buying and a selling zone, I still think that the overall price action is much, much cleaner than it was a couple weeks ago. So we're in the right direction right now. And the trades are showing that as well. The P&L is showing that too. Okay? Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. I'll keep the stream a bit shorter today here, around 2 hours. So we'll keep you guys in the loop. All right? And I wish you a great rest of your day. If you just woke up with me, good morning. Enjoy the rest of your morning. If you are going to bed right now, good night. Have a good sleep. And I'm going to see you again later on. And this week will be a big week. A lot of trades, a lot of action. Okay? So keep a close eye on what we're doing here, what we're building here. I think we're building an amazing community on YouTube, Telegram, whatever. We're building an amazing community right now. And I'm really enjoying it, man. Okay. Awesome, guys. Watch these levels, yeah? And we'll stay in touch. And we'll make sure that you guys are in the loop and stay updated right there, okay? Enjoy the rest of your day, man. And if you have to go to work, good luck on your job today. Enjoy. See you later. Much love, guys. See you soon.